So now what's going on with the stock market? I'm going to tell you what's going on with the stock market. Hey, good morning or good afternoon, wherever it is, wherever you're at. So today we're going to talk about the stock market. Now why it's going to crash today or did crash already, but yeah, it's going down again today. First off, don't take stock advice from me because I don't have any stocks right now. Thinking about getting back in because I got out a long time ago. But what you need to know is that you can you can make money, you can lose money. Talk to your financial advisor. If he's just sitting on your money and not buying and selling and making trades and doing shorts and things like that, then maybe you need to get someone else to manage your portfolio because you should be making a ton of money even in this market that's down thousands of points or dollars, however you want to count it. But anyway, so what's going on with the stock market is, uh, yeah, a lot of people are cashing out. So what Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, and the Fed did is they said, well, we're going to help you guys out. It's early, man. It's early. And so he says, we're going to help you guys out and we're going to give you some money. Now, if you've been listening to some of my other videos about the stock market and about the banks, people are sitting on piles and piles of money. I mean, piles, billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. They got plenty of money. They got lots of money. But people are liquidating some of their money. And so these companies' stocks are going down. So President Trump, being the nice guy he is, he says, I'm going to help you out. And me and the Federal Reserve, we're gonna do a buyback. Don't quote me on the exact dollar figures because it changes, so changing every minute. But I think it was like $4 trillion that they put into the market to try to hold it up a little bit. And that did not work because when people that had stocks in these companies and it was down and seen it come up a little bit, well, they grabbed that liquid out of there and they put it in probably cash or gold or silver or something like that, and got out of those stocks. Not that they didn't get out of the stock market, they liquidated some of those stocks where that money was put in there. So now Trump says, well, we're going to help you guys out some more. We're going to give you the money, but what you need to do with this money is you need to pay your bills, pay your electric bills, your food bills. Oh, and by the way, you need to pay your employees to keep them on. So when everything comes back to normal, you have your employees and they just walk in and go back to work and everything's back to normal, which I don't know what normal is or when that's going to happen. Could be next week or next month. So anyway, what these companies did is they took the money, and you know what they did? They bought their own stock back. Now, if you've listened to any of my talking points about stocks and about these big companies, they've been doing this for the past 5 or 6 years, maybe longer, 8 years. The economy is so good and they're making so much money. And that's why I keep telling you that the stock market is artificially inflated because these companies keep taking their own money and buying these stocks. So they're buying their own stock. So he's given them, I mean, he didn't make them sign a contract or nothing. He just said, this is what you should do with this money. You should invest it back in your company, invest it in your employees. That's what Donald Trump and Mnuchin said, the Federal Reserve said, and that's what they were supposed to use the money for. And they used it to buy back their own stock. Now, Nikki Haley I think she's the CEO for General Motors, or was. She told Donald Trump, and I tell you, when she says something, you can believe what she says. I don't know if she spoke directly to Donald Trump, but she spoke to her board of directors, and she says, "We don't need the money. We're sitting on piles of money. We don't need the money. We should not be taking a bailout from from the federal government. We just should not be doing that because we don't need the money." Well, the board of directors had a different idea. They said, "Yeah, well, we're taking the money." Now, I wasn't in the room, and I don't know exactly how this went down, but this is what the end result was. Nikki Haley, being the stand-up person she is, said, in my mind, she said, "If you're going to take this bailout money, then I'm out of here. I'm out of here." And I mean, it was just like that. The same. I mean, she's out as far as I know from what I'm reading. She's out. So they took the money, and you know what they did with the money? They were supposed to spend it on supplies, spend it on their electric bills and their rent, and pay their employees so they would be there when the market turns around or when all this other stuff goes away and everything's back to normal. They would have their employees. They didn't do that. They bought their freaking stock back. They bought more of their stock back. And what's happening today? I'm gonna, the stock market's going to go down so bad this morning when it opens that it's gonna stop for 15 minutes, I believe it is, to slow down the sell off, to try to. And where's it going to end up at the end of the day? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, if you look at the chart for the last 8 years or last 5 years, you can see it keeps going up, 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 up. And now it's on the other side and it's going down, 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 down. But it goes down and it might go up, and then it goes down, it might go up, and goes down, and it might go up a little bit. But it's the downtrend, and it's going to be doing this for a while, in my opinion. And should you buy, sell, or trade stocks? That's up to you, and you need to talk to your financial advisor about it. But I sent Donald Trump a message, and I told him, I said, this trickle down thing is not going to work. Before you ever do it, it's not going to work. No, I didn't hear back from him. He's not going to talk to me, but at least gave him a piece of my mind, like I have a piece to give away. So, and I told him, I said, this is not going to work. I said, they're not going to use this money for what you think they're going to use it for. I had no idea what they were going to do, but now I know. And I told him, I said, if you're going to give away a lot of money, you gotta, trickle down has never ever worked. Everybody in the world, or in the United States, is exactly where they were from the 50s and 60s. Yeah, their income went up a little bit, but everything traveled with it. So nobody's really doing, there's a few people that made $1 million and are millionaires and did good, and good for you. I'm happy for you. But for the most part, people have stayed right where they are. So if you want the money to work, you have to give the money to the people that are going to spend the money, and it goes back into the economy. It goes to restaurants. It goes to buying, goods. Goes to buying food and stuff like that. And that is what stimulates the economy. It's not. We don't need to stimulate the stock market. The stock market needs to do what the stock market's going to do, which I think it's still at 19,000. I still think it's probably up 5 or 6,000 more than it should be, because these big companies and banks just keep buying their own stock back, and that's artificial. That's an artificial stock market. It just keeps blowing it up and blowing it up, buying your own stock. And now they're still doing it, even though the federal government is trying to help them out and give them a little bit of money. and they're not using it for what they're supposed to be using it for. So yeah, I messaged Mr. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, and I told him, I said, you got to give the money to the middle class people and the lower class people. And now is a good time to do something about the homeless people if you're ever going to do anything. Now, in the emergency that we're in, you have the funds, you have the resources, do something about the homeless people and give the money to poor people that's going to spend it, homeless people that are going to spend it, the middle class people that are going to spend it, and that will keep the economy going, and it'll be there after we get through the other side of whatever this is that we've got going on, which I don't really know what it is. So anyway, that's my take on the stock market today. It is going to tumble bad, but don't worry about it. It's just numbers. Don't panic. Talk to your financial advisor. And tune in for one of my other videos I'm going to be making soon about the housing market. Because if you're smart and you hold on to your money right now, you're going to get a fantastic deal on some real estate real soon, because the real estate market is going to follow the stock market. So this is Harold with WorldTVOnDemand.com. Thanks for viewing my video and tuning into my channel. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you would, and I'll have another video for you soon. But today the stock market is going to go woo. You guys have a fantastic day. I'm out of here, baby.